Hello. So I recognize that it's ridiculous to film an end of the year TBR when it's not even the end of August. But typically on Tuesdays, I do a spoiler-filled chat for a book that I really enjoyed, and I just don't have a book. I've read some good books recently, but I don't have one that I'm just dying to dig into spoilers for. So I thought instead, since I rigorously plan out my reading schedule for some reason, I already have most of my rest of the year reading plans planned out and in graphics, like I've made graphics for them. So since I already know the big things that I plan on reading throughout the rest of the year, there will be things added. I figured I would chat with you about the big ones, the sci-fi, the fantasy, the ones that may get dedicated reviews that you may be interested in. So I'm just focused on sci-fi and fantasy for this video. There will be nonfictions, there will be literary fictions, there will be classics, there will be horror, there will be other genres, and there will be smaller fantasy books in here as well, but I'm just talking about the big ones that if you have on your TBR, you might like to know that I plan on reading them by the end of the year. So if there is a dedicated spoiler video, you know, you can do with it what you want. Okay, first of all, Malazan. I at least want to read one more Malazan book by the end of the year. Reaper's Gail is next for me. I've actually already started this. I'm 2 chapters into it. I'm planning on reading this very slowly, and I'm not going to update you in reading vlogs this time. I'm just going to, at the end, once I finish this chunker of a book, I'm going to give you my spoiler-free thoughts in a single vlog, and then spoiler sit down, let's talk about the details. So that's how I'm going to handle Reaper's Gail. I'll still be talking about it on my Patreon, which, if you don't know, we buddy read everything on my Patreon. Everything that I plan to read that month, I make a graphic for. I tell everybody, here's the list, and we have dedicated channels for every single book, and we all hang out, and people read what they want to read and ignore the channels that they want to ignore. So if any of these sound interesting and you want a deeper conversation, that is available, and that's always linked in the description. But if you don't feel like joining Patreon, that's cool too, because there will be reading vlogs for everything I read, as well as spoiler-filled videos for a lot of what I read. And I'm not promising a spoiler video for everything on this list. I'm just saying, you know, if I end up loving some of these books, they'll get those. So, Reaper's Gail, that will be read by the end of the year. It'd be cool if I could read 2 more Malazan books by the end of the year, but we'll take them one at a time. On that same note, Dandelion Dynasty. I plan on finishing the series by the end of the year. I have 2 more books. The Veiled Throne I'll be reading. I'll at least be starting in September. Will I finish it? I don't know, because it's almost 1,000 pages, and I'll probably be taking it slowly because you're supposed to read the 3rd and 4th books back to back because they were originally written as one and the publisher made him split them, but they're each almost 1,000 pages long. This one is 982 pages long, and the next one I think is even longer. So I plan on taking these really slowly because I don't want to burn myself out. That way I can read them back to back, and it'll just be, I'll be reading other stuff with them. So this is at least getting started in September. Will it be finished in September? I don't know, but the whole series, the last 2 books, will be done by the end of the year, and I'm so excited to read more because I love the first 2 books. Discworld as well, I'm going to be continuing it throughout the rest of this year. I plan on reading, I'm continuing the 1 book per month saga that I've been on. I'm reading in chronological order, so the next book is Sorcery, and I'm going to continue chronological until December, and then I'm going to break my pattern and read Hogfather in December because of seasonality, you know, and then get back to chronological. Same with Dresden Files. I'm going to continue to read 1 per month, assuming I continue to enjoy the series. I'll continue doing that until the series is done. So next up is White Knight, maybe? Something Knight. And again in September, I will be reading The 3-Body Problem. So I'm reading this on ebook. I haven't bought the book. I'm not going to buy the book until I know that I like the trilogy. But assuming I do, then I'll continue the trilogy as well, and I can finish it out by the end of the year, assuming I like it. But I'm at least reading the first book in September. This is a sci-fi. I just realized I'm not telling you about. Well, you should know about all of them that I've told you about already because I've been talking about them. But I will tell you The 3-Body Problem. I don't know anything about it other than it's a really popular sci-fi book, and my friend Bookborn said that it changed her brain. She said it made her think differently, and that sounds interesting to me And there's going to be an adaptation soon. So why not? A secret military project sends signals into space to establish contact with aliens? I haven't read an alien story in so long. I'm in. Absolutely. Make it happen. Also on ebook, I'll be reading Blood Over Brighthaven. This is the same author that wrote The Sword of Kaigen, and I'm so excited for the next book by her. She said she wrote this in a really dark time in her life, and because of that, I'm expecting it to be pretty dark in tone as well, but I'm just excited to read more from this author, M.L. Wang. I loved The Sword of Kaigen, and I read her self-published series before The Sword of Kaigen was even popular, before it was even out, actually, so I liked her before you did. Competition. There isn't one. Anyway, I'm excited to read more from this author. So I'm going to be reading Blood Over Brighthaven, which is her newest release. It just released like a month ago. And this month I read The Wizard of Earthsea, which is a well-loved classic fantasy. I liked it, but I wasn't over the moon about it. But what I was over the moon about was Ursula K. Le Guin's writing. So I want to try another one of her series or books. The Left Hand of Darkness is technically the third book in the series, but people say that it's fine as a standalone. Like it's third book chronologically, but it is its own thing. So that's what I'm going to read next. That's what has been highly recommended to me by Le Guin fans, and I really want more of her writing in a different setting, so this is what I'm going for next. On that same track, I just finished City of Last Chances, and I, again, was obsessed with the writing. Now, I've read Children of Time and really, really enjoyed it, but didn't continue the series for no good reason. And now I've read City of Last Chances, and I'm just blown away by his writing, his prose, his world building. I just didn't connect with the character. So I spoke with someone who is, again, a big fan of his work and said that this might be a good one as my next book. He gave me a list and I looked into the list and this is the one that got me the most excited. It's called Cage of Souls. It's post-apocalyptic. It takes place in the wilderness and I love books that have jungle settings. Okay, so listen to this. This is the last city on Earth after the sun blew up or something. The sun is bloated and perhaps dying. That's different. So this is the last city on Earth. We're following a character who is a rebel, an outlaw, a prisoner, a survivor, and this is his account where he's gone through western deserts, transported him east down the river, and imprisoned him in the verdant hell of the jungle's darkest heart. Led him deep into the labyrinths and caverns of the underworld. He'll meet monsters, madmen, and mutants. Okay, so maybe it's not jungle setting. I just remembered that there was a jungle involved. And the cover looks jungly. Regardless, I love desert settings, I love jungle settings, I love cavernous settings, I love labyrinth settings, and it looks like it's doing it all, and it's prose that I'm already committed to, and Kindle Unlimited. So I got it for free. Not for free, I pay for my subscription, but... So I'm very excited about this as well. This is not September anymore, by the way. We've moved past September. We're just talking about by the end of the year, this is gonna be read. We have some more Sanderson stuff. The Secret Project #4, the final Secret Project, will be out in October, and Defiant will be out, which is the conclusion to Skyward Quartet. That will be out in November. I personally loved Skyward, very much enjoyed Starsight, didn't love Cytonic. So I'm just really excited to see how it all ends. I wanna know how this concludes. I'm looking forward to it, and of course I'm looking forward to the 4th Secret Project as well. I have been convinced to try Fool's Errand. I personally am not a fan of Fitz. This hurts many people's souls, but it's just true. I loved Robin Hobb's Live Ship Trader trilogy. Loved it. And I wanted to skip the second Fitz trilogy and just go straight to Rain Wilds, but people implored me not to do that. So we'll see. I'm gonna do what I want, but I will at least try this, and if I can manage to hang out with Fitz for 3 more books, I will. If I can't, I'm going to Rain Wilds. I love Robin Hobb's writing. I want to read more from her. Hopefully Fitz can be a little bit more sufferable. The Jasmine Throne. A ruthless princess and a powerful priestess come together to rewrite the fate of the empire. My friend Angela from Literature Science Alliance really enjoyed at least this trilogy. And I tried the first book, but I wasn't in the right mood for opening up another big, these books are pretty thick. I wasn't in the mood for opening up another trilogy at the time, so I ended up putting it down, but I really want to get back to it and I want to give it a fair shake because I love royalty fantasies, and this follows a princess and her empire, so I think I could potentially really enjoy it. I'm gonna give it a try. We're also starting a reread. I almost forgot this. I almost completely skipped over this. We're also starting a reread of The Gentleman Bastards over on my Patreon. That's what I'm talking about as we. Starting in September, we're going to read The Lies of Locke Lamora, and then we'll read one per month through November because there's only 3 books for no good reason. Just why wouldn't we want to reread The Lies of Locke Lamora? Why wouldn't we want to reread the Gentleman Bastards series? So I've already done a couple of reviews of The Lies of Locke Lamora and at least one of Red Seas Under Red Skies. I've never done a dedicated video review for The Republic of Thieves. So there's for sure going to be a dedicated review for book 3 because it's long overdue. Honestly, I might just go ahead and redo reviews for books 1 and 2. Not that you need it. There's nothing I could contribute to give you another review. Except that I'm probably just gonna wanna talk about it. I might bring some other people onto the channel and we can have a chat so that it's a little bit different, but I'm just excited to read my favorite series again. Next up, I'm almost done, I promise. I told you it was a long list. Next up is To Ride Hell's Chasm. So I was hanging out with Andrew in a live stream like a week ago maybe, from Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and he told me that I would love this author because I was telling him about how much I was loving the prose in City of Last Chances, and he was like, this is your next author, Janny Warts, and I had never heard of her. I didn't know anything about her, and so he and Nico have been talking to me about her work, and they've both given me a couple of recommendations, and I settled on To Ride Hell's Chasm because it's a standalone basically, and I didn't want to open up a new series for a new author, but I did want to try her because they both made her sound amazing. So I've settled with this, and I believe they're both going to be reading it with me in December, so there will probably be a group discussion of some sort, assuming we can all follow through on this loose plan. And the final book, and then we'll get into manga, but at the end of the year, every year, I commit the last bit of December to rereads because it's just easier for me for planning my end of the year videos, the best of the year, the worst of the year, like the final, the wrap, the end of the year, here's what I read videos. It's easier for me if I commit to rereads so that I can just start formulating those lists. It works for me. So I always do rereads at the end of December. And at the beginning of the year, I decided what I wanted this year's reread to be, and so far, this is still how I feel, so I think I'm gonna stick to this. My plan right now is to reread The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm so excited. I want the reread so bad. I'm gonna vlog it this time. It'll be a spoiler vlog, and we're just gonna hang out and talk about Hitchhiker's Guide, how amazing it starts off, and then how it kind of just continues to go downward, but it's still the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so it's still a wonderful time. Okay, and then wrapping up this TBR, this very long, I know it's long, but there's 4 months, I've got 4 months. Wrapping up this video with some manga that I plan on reading by the end of the year. I have already started Dragon Ball Z. I'm gonna continue reading that and finish that out, and then I might read Super as well, though I've been warned that it's not great, so now I'm confused on what I should do, but I might read Super as well. And I've committed to either Naruto or Bleach after I'm done with Dragon Ball, the whole series. I'm either gonna do Naruto or Bleach next. I think I'm leaning towards Naruto. You can weigh in if you want to. But basically, I'm trying to catch up to what I've missed out on as a new manga reader. There's certain series that everyone that likes manga has read, and I haven't. So when I hang out with other manga nerds and they're just like casually mentioning Dragon Ball and I don't know what they're talking about, I want to be in on the conversation, which is why I started Dragon Ball, and I love the series, so that's gone well for me. And there are a couple of other anchor series that I want to read because I'm a part of this community now, and I want to be able to have the conversations. So one of those I'll be starting by the end of the year. I'm pretty sure I'm leaning towards Naruto. I think I've already committed to Naruto now that I'm thinking about it more, but I don't remember completely. Snow White with Red Hair is another one that I will be starting by the end of the year. I'm trying to balance the big series with some of the smaller, not shonen series, and Snow White with Red Hair has come highly recommended, so I'm gonna give that one a go. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is going to be read in September because it was supposed to be read in August, but I was warned this is maybe too heavy for me for August, so I'm gonna be reading it in September instead. And finally, I'm not positive that this one is going to be started this year, but I'm gonna try. I did a live stream with Tekking and Jay recently, and after the stream was over, Tekking told me, I think you specifically would like this series. It's Akane no Banashi. He said it's more slice of life, but he just specifically thought that I would like it, so I want to prioritize that and see if he's right. Not everything on this list will necessarily be finished by the end of the year, but I at least want to start all of these by the end of the year. Ideally not all, I'll finish some of them. Anyway, hopefully one or two things on this list interest you, and if there's something on, I just wanted to share my TBR because I pretty much already know what I'm gonna be reading throughout the rest of this year. I really like aggressively planning my reading these days. And if there's something on this list that interests you, I want you to know so that you can read it if you feel like it. That way when the discussion does come, you know, we can hang out and talk. Anyway, feel free to chat with me more in the comments. Is there anything that you plan on picking up now that you've seen this list? Is there anything that you've read that you want to let me know if you're excited for me to read or you think I'm gonna hate? I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday on this channel, Mondays and Fridays on the other channel, which is always linked in the description. I'll see you again soon. Bye.